I'm used to the climate, a thing that if man ever found a place to live easy and happy, that Eden is on Puget Sound. Eden is on Puget Sound, that Eden is on Puget Sound. A place to live easy and happy, that Eden is on Puget Sound.
Hello and welcome to the Seattle Files. My name is Chris Allen, I'm your host. Every week I get together with a different local comedian, and together we discuss the strange, unusual, interesting, and oftentimes lesser-known aspects of our local history. Joining me today on the program is Kayla Teel.
Hello, Chris.
Hey, Kayla, how are you today?
I'm pretty good.
Excellent, excellent. Kayla is an ensemble member in Jet City Improv. She is a member of the sketch group Getting Naked with Friends. She performs with her group with a podcast, Improv News 9 at 8, and that is available on seattlecomedy.net?
.org.
Seattlecomedy.org.
Seattlecomedy.org, and iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud.
The whole podcast network.
The whole shebang.
Awesome.
There.
And when do those episodes come out?
They come out every Thursday morning at 8.
Awesome. Yeah, check that out. They do fake reporting on real news stories.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun. Cool. Kayla, how long have you lived in the Seattle area?
Well, I grew up in the area from about age 3 to age 13, moved to the East Coast, and then I came back in 2013.
Okay.
So I've been here about 2.5 years.
What sent you back to the East Coast?
Well,
You banished?
my dad's job, he worked in insurance, and they got bought out by a company in Connecticut. So
Oh, okay.
we took off, and then I fled back here the second I could.
Okay. So, what brought you back out here? For school or?
No, I had just finished school, and I knew I kind of had to pick a major city to live in to do what I wanted to do, and I just knew I loved it out here.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. How much do you know about local history?
Probably only what I've learned from listening to your podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, probably not much.
So you left when you were 13. Did you have to take the Pacific Northwest history class that they make you take in 8th grade, or did you miss that?
No, I left after 7th grade.
Oh, okay, so you missed that one.
Yep.
Okay. All right, awesome. And you have no idea what we're going to be talking about today, correct?
No.
Awesome, cool. Let's get started.
Okay.
Olive Hannah Spore was born in Iowa in 1849. At age 18, she married Noble Ryther, a carpenter, and the couple had 3 daughters.
Okay.
A pious family, they were devout Methodists and dedicated their lives to the church. Seattle was founded by Methodists in 1851. The Denny Party, who first came out here, first settlers who arrived in this area, were Methodists. And in 1874, Noble left Olive and the rest of the family in Iowa to travel to the Northwest and establish social services to the young city for indigent men.
And Noble is the husband?
Noble is the husband.
Indigent?
Indigent.
What's
like
that?
Poor and needy.
Okay.
Transient men that don't
Okay.
have homes and...
Okay, he left his home.
He left his home to help men without homes in a faraway land.
Okay.
Yeah. In Seattle, he continued working as a carpenter, building houses and sending money back to his family in Iowa, and spending all the rest of his time providing spiritual counseling and helping to feed and shelter the needy here in the Northwest.
So he was kind of starting the whole spiritual movement. This is still, I consider Seattle a very spiritual town.
Yeah?
I mean, a lot of people are into the chakras and the yoga and all of that.
I don't know if he would have been so much into that.
Hey, you never know.
As Jesus is the only way to God.
He was a carpenter.
That's
so
true.
He was just trying to be Jesus here.
Kind of. Yeah, something like that.
Very noble of him.
Yeah, Yeah, he left his wife and 3 daughters at home and then said, I'm heading out. And I'm gonna be a carpenter and emulate Jesus out in the Northwest.
Great.
Noble was volunteering at the city mission on the waterfront. He wanted to build a house so his family could come out, so he acquired a plot of land across Lake Washington and set to work. He canoed back and forth across the lake every day, slowly building the house, and 7 years later, he completed the family home.
That's a long canoe ride.
It is a very long canoe ride.
I think I have a canoe, and I think when I look out at Lake Washington, I'm like, maybe I'll go around the edge a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big lake.
It is a big lake. It's a huge lake, yeah.
Okay. And he would take supplies with him in his canoe?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He would canoe across Lake Washington.
All right.
You've never canoed the width of the lake?
No. Maybe I will now. I mean,
I like the disgust in your voice. No! Why would I do that? So when the family home was completed, he sent for Olive to come and bring the children.
Okay.
And she came over, and shortly after arrival, Olive became pregnant again and gave birth to a son.
Okay.
We got 4 kids on this homestead on the other side of Lake Washington.
They were long distance for 7 months.
7 years.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
7 years. They didn't even have FaceTime.
No, they didn't.
Or U.S. Postal Service? No,
They would have been the Postal Service,
Okay.
but it would have been slow going. Out to the frontier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Would have been a slow, so maybe mail once a week, once a month, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
In 1884, one of the Rythers' neighbors, Mrs. Long, was in a bad way. Her husband was a drunk who had abandoned the family, and Mrs. Long herself was very ill and dying.
Oh.
She had 4 children and begged Olive to take them when she died. Social services for children were virtually non-existent on the frontier. There were no orphanages in the area, and Olive accepted the responsibility for the Long children.
Wow. Brady Bunch status. Okay, now she's got 8.
She got 8.
Ah.
Yeah, she has doubled the size of her children, or amount of children.
Okay, double the size of her children.
Yeah, double the size. Damn countable and uncountable nouns. Feeling the immense responsibility and necessity of caring for vulnerable children who had nowhere else to go, she vowed that she would never turn away a child that she might be able to help.
Okay.
She wants to help people. With 2 adults and 8 children living in the small homestead, the family moved to a larger house closer to the downtown area at 813 Alder Street, near where Harborview is today.
He spent 7 years on that house. And then they were just like, oh, too small.
I haven't thought about it like that, but yeah. Well, they doubled the size of their children, so.
Yeah, the size of their children. Yeah, I gotta have a bigger house.
Mm-hmm.
Bigger pantry.
Yeah. Olive got a job as a cook at the city mission, where Noble had been volunteering for the last several years. The mission provided services for men, but the services available for women and children was severely lacking.
Huh.
So Olive turned her attention to prostitutes.
Okay.
Which there were many in Seattle at the time. She would go into brothels and have tea with the women, which was virtually unheard of. Women of upstanding social stature did not consort with quote-unquote fallen women.
Wow. Strange, because that's why Noble went out.
He came here to help men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But women, they were taboo just because.
Yeah. Well, the taboo to deal with prostitutes and the lower statures of society.
So that made prostitute tea time.
Prostitute tea time,
Very
yes.
good, okay.
Mm-hmm. She became the jail matron. And since Seattle did not have a facility for dealing with female prisoners, the Rythers barricaded a section of the upstairs in their home and allowed female prisoners to be put there while waiting.
Okay.
So they have 8 children and lady prisoners now.
Okay. In their new home?
In their new home.
Okay.
Yeah, they turn the attic into a jail.
Okay.
Yeah. Olive sometimes administered small doses of morphine to drug-addicted women to keep them from going into withdrawals.
Wow. She's a nurturing type.
She really is. Yes.
She's one of those people, if all her children moved away, she would start nannying or something.
Yeah.
Always taking care of something. Okay.
Mm-hmm. There was a heavy stigma against unwed mothers and their children. Seeing a need that was going unmet, the Rythers opened up their home to women and their children with nowhere else to go. They established under their own roof the City Mission Foundling Home for unwed mothers and their children.
Ah.
Now their house is an official place for...
But her children still live there, so it's just...
Her biological children still live there, as well as her adopted children, and now they're bringing in more women and children.
Oh my gosh. How does anyone move in that house?
I don't think they do.
I hope they don't have much glassware.
I doubt it. I doubt it, yeah. I don't think they have a lot of fine china and things like that in the City Mission Foundling Home. Anyone who wished to stay was welcome, and they were expected to participate in the household, cooking, cleaning, and other chores. The goal was to help the women and children get on their feet, become self-sufficient, and then be able to set up on their own. But the home had no plumbing or electricity.
Oh. So the bathroom situation worries me.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, they probably didn't have a bathroom in the home.
So they just... Yeah, but how many people are we at right now? How many...
I think at any given time there was
like
a dozen or 2 dozen, 3 dozen people. A lot of people in the home.
Yeah.
So they would have had an outhouse, most likely. Possibly chamber pots.
Gross. You see, there's a difference between like a family of 4 and a family of 24
Yeah.
having an outhouse. So,
Right.
All right, let's move on from that. Sorry.
Other organizations began popping up to help the women of Seattle, so the Rythers started focusing solely on helping children. They wanted to help as many abandoned and orphaned children as they could. Olive spent her days walking the streets of the red light district looking for children to help, and her nights caring for the young ones they had brought into their home.
So sweet.
Yeah, so she's hunting for orphans.
Hunting for orphans.
She provided daycare services. Single fathers could leave their children with her while they went to work, and Ryther charged them $1 per week. It was around this time her reputation grew, and she took on the nickname Mother Ryther.
Wow, yeah. Well deserved, I think.
Yeah, she's taking care of a lot of people.
Right.
All the children attended Seattle public schools. Boys staying at the home were required to learn a trade by age 16 to prepare them to enter the workforce. Girls would attend 1 year of high school and then be sent to business college so they would be able to support themselves and not be reliant on anyone else.
Wow, that's pretty
Yeah.
liberal for back then, I
Pretty
think.
progressive.
Yeah,
Not
cool.
just don't rely on a man.
Right.
Because the man might become a drunk and leave you.
Yeah,
And your babies,
like
and then
their
I gotta take
neighbor
care.
on Lake Washington.
Yeah. This is
who
long.
died? Oh, all her children. Okay.
Yeah. Are you sad now remembering that?
Yeah, forgot about her. I just immediately went to Brady Bunch and she just disappeared. Oh. Moment of silence.
Yeah. Olive built relationships with local businesses to gain apprenticeships and employment when the children under her care were old enough to enter the workforce. So she's taking them in. Got to learn a trade. Once you're old enough, go get a job.
This is great. She's
Yeah.
making this, a better place.
She's awesome.
Cool.
She's one of my favorite local historical figures.
Wow. Olive, what was her last
Olive
name?
Ryther.
Olive Ryther.
Yeah, better known as Mother Ryther.
Okay, Mother Ryther.
The household had chickens and cows and a small patch of farm.
This is the smelliest, this has to be the smelliest household ever.
A bunch of children and prostitutes and chickens and cows.
Right. Yeah, children, yeah. All those things.
All those things have a tendency to have a smell.
And no bathroom,
No
so
bathroom.
at least they don't have to share a bathroom. It's not like a sorority. But
Well, they share a pit more
ugh, God,
outside.
it's gotta be smelly.
Yeah. So the chickens and cows and a small patch of farm, but not enough to feed and support the small army of children that was coming through their doors. So Olive solicited a donation from friends and neighbors and attempted to get funding from local businesses. Some of her tactics were rather brazen.
Okay.
One account from the Seattle Times is that she had 25 orphans that needed shoes. She was unable to gain funding and had a hard time simply feeding everyone, but having taken a vow to never turn a child away who needed help, she marched them down to a local shoe store, entered and told the clerk to begin fitting them. She refused to leave until every child had a new pair of shoes, telling the clerk that this would be a donation and the store's way of supporting the needy in Seattle.
She's just like, you will give these children shoes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And it worked?
It worked.
They were just like, okay.
Well, what are you going to do? You got 25 orphans and an angry woman in your store demanding
Right.
shoes.
She must have been pretty badass and cool. They were just like, all right.
Yeah.
Wow.
She was hardcore.
Awesome. When you said army of children earlier, I was imagining them marching around.
Yeah.
Now I'm imagining them marching around shoeless.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Well, now they got some
Now
sweet
they-
new shoes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
The Seattle Star considered itself an unofficial partner with Mother Ryther, and her mission and wrote of her often.
Is that a newspaper?
Yeah.
Okay.
Seattle Star is a now defunct newspaper.
Okay.
It's definitely one of the more pulpy newspapers.
What do you
from
mean by
the time.
pulpy?
Pulpy, inflammatory,
Ah.
hyperbolic, very, we are on the side of right and there is other on the side of wrong. Think like the New York Daily News or one of those not the highest standards of journalistic excellence.
Okay.
Whenever I need a good inflammatory quote, I know I can go with the Seattle Star and they got me covered.
Great.
As well as the Seattle Star wrote of her often and assisted her with her fundraising projects. One such effort wrote of the Star, quote, we arranged with the management of the Hanky Panky Company, which was a theater company, appearing at the Moore Theater next week to give a free show in the Little Park at University at 4th at 2 o'clock next Tuesday when the chorus girls shall take up a collection for the benefit of Mother Ryther's kids.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Wait, how long has the Moore been there?
The Moore?
Yeah.
Moore's been there, I don't know, 1890s?
Whoa.
Or Moore's been there for a really long time.
Cool.
Moore is a very old theater.
So the girls' choir was raising money for...
Because this is now, I'm not sure when exactly we are. Let me see if I can find that. I've got it written down where I pulled these from. Oh, this is in the 1910s.
Okay.
That quote comes from.
Okay.
Another time, the plea for money was less jovial. The Star wrote, quote, "A delegation of women came to the Star Tuesday and asked help for a tag day to obtain funds to replenish the Mother Ryther pantry. That day will be Saturday. It will not be a social event, so society women will not go in great numbers, probably to help in the fast. It is not a church or club proposition. There is no organization that shoulders the responsibility of helping Mother Ryther feed all who come to her doors. It is a chance for women, no matter what their age or place in Seattle may be, to help in a wonderful work."
Oh my gosh, this lady rocks!
She's awesome. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So, this isn't a party. This isn't a club.
She was an orphanage, a rehab center, a halfway house.
Yeah.
Also a mother. I wonder if her children were ever like, oh, another one.
I would imagine that, yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine sibling rivalry, but
Right.
multiplied when you have 40.
It's like Marcia and Jan times 20.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oliver.
Oh, man. Yeah, now I'm kind of feeling bad for those kids. Their mom probably doesn't have much time for them.
Yeah, she's doing the Lord's work, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be rough to be...
Because this isn't just like, what's that show, 19 Kids and Counting? It's not like that. These are,
Is that a...
it's on TLC. It's this couple that has 19 children and counting.
Oh, okay. They're
Yeah.
still having more?
Yeah, maybe if they can.
That's
They're
a lot of
they
children.
run their life like almost like a school.
Okay.
So that it's just constant activities and things. But this is not that. No, this is like people off the street.
This is also, these kids are going to be coming in from being homeless or from having mothers who are prostitutes and kids that are having some very serious life issues coming in. So yeah, it's difficult for everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, her own children, her biological children are probably having a hard time with this.
I would imagine.
I didn't find a lot of their accounts.
Yeah,
Yeah, you think?
maybe it's because, I don't know why.
Yeah.
They're off doing their own thing.
She gained a reputation as a no-nonsense community leader and was largely admired. Farmers donated food and women's groups made clothing for the children. Perhaps her biggest admirer was Lawrence Coleman, a prominent local businessman whose family built Coleman Dock, better known today as the downtown ferry terminal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I was just there 2 days ago.
Oh, cool. Did you go to Bainbridge?
Bremerton this time,
okay.
actually, yeah. Took my parents.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Folks coming to town, gotta take them to Bremerton. See the shipyards.
I was taking them to the Hood Canal. But
Okay.
Yeah, Bremerton dock is not as nice as Bainbridge.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it was a nice drive.
Oh, that's good.
And a nice boat ride. Anyway.
Good. He provided financial assistance to the children's home and used his business connections to help with job placement when the children got old enough. By 1904, the operation had gotten so large it needed to move once again to a larger facility. They stayed in their location as long as they could, bursting at the seams with needy youths. Then in 1905, they were foreclosed upon because they were unable to pay their mortgage.
And meanwhile, Noble's just like, well, I did build you that house for 7 years. I paddled and I hammered. It's still there.
They weren't in that house for very long, though.
No.
Only a very short
So
period of
sad.
time.
He did all that work.
Oh, poor Noble.
Yeah, where's Noble?
Noble's still in the picture. He's still...
Yeah, I bet they don't get much hanky-panky time.
Probably not.
Not in
no.
that house.
Not with a whole bunch of children.
No, where would they go?
I don't know. They'll go to the outhouse.
Outhouse. No, there's 30 people's stuff in there.
Oh, gross.
Oh, yeah. Poor Noble.
Lawrence Coleman secured them a mansion at 1262 Denny Way, near Minor Avenue in today's South Lake Union neighborhood.
Oh, Lawrence can just give you a mansion.
Yeah.
I built this house for 7 years.
You think Noble is going to be jealous of Lawrence?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't mean to make predictions, but Lawrence gave her a mansion.
Lawrence did give her a mansion, yeah. It was near where REI is today. Up there
wow.
on Denny near I-5.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that. Yeah, that would be kind of emasculating. Like, I built you a house, and then this guy comes along and gives you a mansion.
But go Olive. She's just making it happen.
She's working it. They acquired the old Pontius Mansion and christened it the City Mission Foundling Home. The board of directors produced a pamphlet endorsing the home and signed by community leaders such as Reverend Mark Matthews and the former Mayor Robert Moran. While they were tending to adopted and fostered children, the Rythers suffered personal tragedies in their own family. One of their biological daughters died of smallpox. Yeah.
Caught from a resident in the home?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I knew bad things were going to happen for these children. I just had a feeling.
Another became physically disabled with rheumatoid arthritis.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I don't know where she got smallpox, though. I mean, as you've mentioned, it's not the most sanitary conditions.
And I imagine if one person in this house gets smallpox, this could be bad.
Yeah. Smallpox, it's like a positive attitude. It's contagious.
The mansion will be empty.
Yeah. Noble Ryther died in 1914. And while there was a plethora of newspaper articles about Mother Ryther, the only thing I could find regarding Noble's death was a one-line death announcement in the Seattle Times. I didn't find any big obituaries or anything for his works.
Everyone's just like, he was just probably swept under the rug all the time.
Well, under the enormous presence of Olive Ryther.
Yeah.
His presence was not as prevalent in the media.
His whole charity work operations.
Yeah, and there might be more out there. I just was not able to find it. Yeah. It might have been a bigger deal.
What was the one line in the paper?
Noble Ryther died.
Oh,
under the death announcements, where it just was one line: this person died, this person died, this person died.
All right, maybe it was the smallpox.
Yeah, maybe. In 1915, Mother Ryther was nearly thrown out of the City Mission Foundling Home due to its not being considered up to code. It lacked plumbing and electricity. She was denied a permit to continue operating the home, and the newspaper once again came to Ryther's aid. The Star wrote, "Either Mother Ryther's home is utterly bad and ought to be closed instantly, or it is good and ought to get support of the public and the city authorities. Today, big-hearted, generous Mother Ryther is hauled into court to," and then the rest is in all caps, "answer the criminal charge of helping the hungry and homeless women and babies without a permit."
That's not subtle at all.
No, it's not.
But it's true, she was doing so much good work, but like I said before, that house could not have been very clean.
Right, yeah. Everybody that's there is supposed to be helping with the cooking and cleaning and stuff like that, but children are a tornado of being a mess.
I was a nanny.
Oh, yeah?
For 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
What ages?
Well, when I started, 2, 4, and 7. Now they're oh gosh, it's hard. 5, 7, and 10.
Oh.
Anywho, yeah.
So just
tornado.
Mess machines?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so imagine 30 of them and...
Yeah, and adults.
Yeah.
With drug habits.
Yeah.
And 4 bitter children that...
Well, 3 bitter children, because one of them died.
Yeah, and one with arthritis.
Rheumatoid arthritis.
Oh, that's sad. Imagine a kid with arthritis.
Yeah.
Just need to have some chicken cartilage. You ever heard that? Yeah.
No.
It's like a natural way to help with arthritis, chicken cartilage.
You eat it or you inject it?
Yeah, well, you could put it in a smoothie, I guess.
What?
Yeah, it comes in a powder, and you can, drink it, I guess. And, it's supposed to help with joint pain.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Because it's actual cartilage. Like, you're ingesting other cartilage to go around your joints.
What is it, chondroitin? Stuff, the supplement that you can take?
Maybe, I'm not sure.
I don't know. If only we were around to talk to this.
Only she had some chicken cartilage.
Yeah.
They had chickens in the backyard.
They did, yeah. All they would have to do is powder that chicken cartilage and mix it into a smoothie, and they would have been fine.
Gosh.
What a world. What a world. Lawrence Coleman once again came to the rescue and paid to have the house fitted with plumbing and electricity. The mission was still in great disrepair, and only a few years later, the operation needed to move once again.
Oh.
The community came together to build Ryther a new home. This one in Wallingford at 4416 Stoneway.
That is very close to where I used to live.
Oh, yeah?
I think I lived at 42nd and Aurora, right over there. Is this building still there?
I don't believe so.
Oh, okay.
It might be, but I don't think it is.
Okay.
It's by the Stone Soup Theater and the
right
Blue Star Diner is.
Wow.
Where Archie McPhee's is.
Okay.
Up there.
Yeah.
The building was funded largely through small donations where people could buy a brick for the new home. A fundraising parade went through the streets of downtown on June 18th, 1919, and donations were collected on 2nd and Cherry. On May 7th, 1920, the operation moved. According to one headline, "Dear wrinkled Mother Ryther and family of 75 moved today."
A family of 5 or 4. Wait, this started with just Noble, Olive,
and
3
3 daughters,
children.
and then they had a son.
And then they had a son.
So now it's wrinkled Mother Ryther and family of 75.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mother Ryther, indeed.
Mm-hmm. Private motorists donated their time to move all the goods and people to the new space. Mother Ryther was 70 years old when they made this move. The City Mission foundling home was renamed the Ryther Home. Despite her age, she still participated in the day-to-day running of the facility, cooking and cleaning, as well as looking after the children. Every evening, she would lead the group in song, reading, and prayer. Account of her later years said, quote, Mother Ryther is 71 years old. Although she now has assistance with the cooking and housework, she oversees everything. She maintains an excellent discipline, and punishment is almost unknown, so effective is her influence. She says the essential thing is to love the children and understand them.
Oh my gosh, she's like a real-life Mary Poppins.
Yeah, something like that.
Ugh, I love it.
Yeah, she's just wonderful. She's just a great person.
Yeah, and I'm so happy she didn't get shut down by the courts.
Lawrence Coleman.
Yeah.
Coming to the rescue.
Here's another mansion,
Yeah.
Mother Ryther.
And now Noble's out of the picture, so
Yeah.
I don't know if anything... Yeah.
Maybe there's some foul play there. I don't know.
Oh, you think Lawrence Coleman killed Noble?
I don't know. I'm not going to judge Lawrence, but I think he had some ulterior motives here.
Okay, all right. This is I did not, when I was doing the research and writing this out, I did not see the love triangle, but I'm glad that you are
That's what I'm
bringing this to
interested
the
in.
light.
I want to know.
This is the dirt. Yeah, this smelly, smelly love triangle.
Yes, with 75 children involved.
Yeah. Oh, God. Because of her age and vision for exactly how she wanted things done, her board of trustees attempted to remove her from position as head of the home. The board appointed a new superintendent and tried to strip her of her authority.
Wait, why? Because she was old?
She was old.
But she was having story time.
She was old, and she was very, she wanted things done a specific way.
Yeah, okay.
She was very direct in how she wanted things run.
I mean, we know her shoe incident.
We do, yeah.
Make all these children's shoes for free now.
Yeah.
And it got done, so
So
yeah,
people are
I can only
saying,
imagine.
yeah, we want to continue doing this work, but we want to do things differently. And she's like, no, we're doing things my way.
So they kicked her out?
They tried to. They
But
appointed
it's her
a new
thing. It
superintendent.
would not exist
Yeah, and it's
without
the
her.
Ryther home, but it didn't work. 3 weeks later, Ryther had regained control of the household. The new superintendent was gone, and things were running as they always had.
Yeah, see, I feel like she should appoint whoever
Her successor.
follows her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mother Ryther continued overseeing the Ryther home until her death on October 2nd, 1934. The Seattle Times headline read, quote, "Her task has ended."
Oh.
Though there aren't exact records, it is certain that more than 3,000 children and needy family members passed through her doors during the 50 years she served Seattle. Upon her passing, the doors to the home were shut down for a year before reopening with the help of the University of Washington School of Social Work as a psychiatric center for youths with emotional instability or behavioral problems.
Wow.
So it reopened shortly after.
Okay.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to ask if it's still there, but I might be getting ahead of you here.
It is still there.
Oh.
Yeah. Just a few months before Ryther's death, Lillian Johnson had been hired by the Ryther House. Johnson had a master's in social work from the University of Chicago, and the new center opened up under her leadership. And she worked tirelessly and extended community outreach and community involvement. She also brought in newer methods of dealing with mental health issues in children. What Mother Ryther started has outlived her. Her mission had been taken up by others, many of whom the children that she saved. Her efforts were succeeded by Lillian Johnson, who picked up where Ryther left off. In 1950, the building on Stone Way was no longer suitable for the organization's needs. Fundraising and outreach began for a new home, which was founded when in 1953 the 4 and 20 clubs purchased property at 2400 Northeast 95th Street in the Wedgwood neighborhood.
Okay.
You know, by Lake City Way.
Yes.
It's kind of off of that.
Yes, okay.
Mm-hmm. So they bought a big campus out there and built a bunch of buildings. And today, the Ryther Child Center services 3,000 children, teens, and family members annually. The Ryther campus in North Seattle has 9 buildings and 3 additional locations.
Oh my gosh, what a legacy.
Isn't that
There's
crazy?
so much history there.
Yeah.
And some of the kids that she brought up are like helping run things there?
The kids that she brought up are probably no longer they would be so old at this point they
I
would probably
thought
not
heard
be.
something about that.
Well, no, they did for a while, but probably not currently.
Oh,
the children that she was helping out would be in their 80s or
Maybe.
90s today if they haven't passed away already.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Ryther today focuses on children, teens, and families with mental health issues, behavioral problems, and substance abuse problems. They have inpatient, outpatient, and residential facilities to continue Mother Ryther's 1884 pledge to never turn a child away in need of help.
Wow. I hope the people there now hear this. This is a cool story.
I think they know about it.
Yeah.
They know about
they must
it.
have
Yeah.
pictures on the wall.
There's a thing on their website about Olive Ryther and the history and how it all started.
So cool. Go
Yeah.
Olive. Go Olive.
Yeah.
Go.
She's incredible. Just made this vow, I'm going to help children, and then dedicated the rest of her life to helping
She'd
people.
be proud if she could see it now.
It's incredible, yeah. And the campus up there, it's a huge campus. I've been to the campus before, not as a patient, but I was, I've been on that campus. I did a communications workshop thing there a while back, and yeah, it's a huge facility, and they help 3,000 children a year.
That's
now.
amazing.
And that's about as much as she helped in her entire lifetime. And so this huge organization, this wonderful organization has sprouted up from this simple act of kindness in 1884 of taking in her neighbor's children.
Yes, in that original house.
That he spent 7 years.
7 years to build it. But it started this.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I like hearing, people like her when their work gets continued after they die. That's really
Yeah. And it's easy to look at people who were scoundrels and roustabouts and things like that, but it seems like the people that are just good-hearted doing good things are often kind of forgotten, which is too bad.
Yeah, and she made Sex Worker Tea Time. That also is what started this.
Yeah,
yes.
Sex Worker Tea Time,
Yes.
which is the name of my new band. So.
Or New Herald Group.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the story of Olive Ryther, and it's still continuing to this day, which is really incredible.
Well, thank you for telling me that story.
Absolutely.
That was a good story.
Well, thank you for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Well, thank you for listening to the Seattle Files. I'll be back next Tuesday with a new topic and a new guest. New episodes come out every Tuesday morning. If you have a topic suggestion that you would like to hear an episode about, shoot me an email at theseattlefiles@gmail.com. Be sure to like us on Facebook, subscribe, and rate in iTunes. We are also on Twitter at the Seattle Files. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week. For listening, we'll be back next week. For listening, we'll be back next week. For listening, we'll be back next week.